Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, you know? Just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. I had, for years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hi, I'm Ashley Flowers, and if you're like me and grew up watching America's Most Wanted and reading Nancy Drew, then hi, you're a crime junkie. And I bet that passion for solving mysteries never went away, which is why we've assembled a team of reporters to dig deep into all the cases we still obsess over. Each Monday, my best friend Britt and I will bring you a case that you won't be able to stop thinking and talking about. So join us by listening to Crime Junkie wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay! And choo-choo!
Oh, yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us all aboard the murder train for a wild story today about a very, very bad person, which could describe most Small Town Murder episodes. Quickly, before we start, though, just want to say, first of all, thanks for everything.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. What's there? First of all, tickets for live shows.
Oh?
September the 8th, Atlanta. September the 9th, Charlotte. Dallas, December 2nd. Get those. Right. And we have a virtual live show.
Oh, boy.
That we've announced. October the 26th is the virtual live show, and then it'll Halloween weekend. It's going to be Halloween themed. We're going to dress up. It'll be fun, and it'll be available for a week after that as well. Yeah. Tickets for that go on sale September 1st. shutupandgivememurder.com/virtual live. So get in there. And another big, exciting announcement. Your Stupid Opinions, our new podcast, where we will make fun of all things reviews on the internet, people's bad, stupid opinions. That is coming out September 18th. It's a Monday. It will be out Monday morning, and it'll be out every Monday morning after that. So check that out. And you definitely also want Patreon. Even more, Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of the bonus material. A mere cup of coffee.
So much. Yeah.
1 cup of coffee the whole month. You can have a cup of coffee, or anybody $5 a month or above on ours, you get a whole back catalog, couple hundred bonus episodes to binge. New ones every other week. 1 crime and sports, 1 small town murder. You get it all. This week is no different. This week, what you're going to get for crime and sports, we're going to talk about something very fun, the history of celebrity boxing matches.
Oh, fantastic.
When you get like a sitcom star and some washed up pop singer and they're going to fight each other with oversized gloves, and people are going to put that on television. Why? We'll talk about that and some of the dumbest ones of all time. Yeah. And then, of course, that's going to be fun. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about something very fun, weird and different. We're going to take a little left turn. We're going to talk about about Victorian household dangers, okay, because there's a lot of them. In the late 1800s, especially people, not even know in your house, people, bathrooms would explode on a regular basis.
Probably because OSHA wasn't around when they built the fucking thing.
You're going to die in your bathroom back then. We'll talk about how you explode in your bathroom and several other, everything had strychnine in it. We'll talk all about it. That is patreon.com/crime and sports. And you'll get a shout out at the end of the regular show as well, because damn it, we appreciate you. That said, I think it's time, everybody, to sit back. I think it's time to clear the lungs, all of us here, and get ready and hands to the sky, and let's all shout. Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, Jimmy. What do you say? Let's go on a trip, everybody.
All right.
Here we go. We're going all the way to Maine. We like Maine, don't we? Maine is good stuff. We really do. We like Maine.
I want to be a Mainer. That's what they're called. Did you know
they
that?
are. Yeah, I know it.
It's so good.
We all. That's the funny. You guys don't know this, but we send houses back and forth in Maine. Jimmie and me and Sarah and Emily, all the 4 of us are like, look at these houses. We are going to end up in Maine someday. Yeah. The only place you'll be able to find us is some little tiny comedy club that we've opened up with 100 seats that also sells lobsters, because that's what we want to eat.
And it won't be called anything silly, so you won't even know that it's. It might be the Lobster Hut. You don't know.
You don't know. But if we're going to go in there and we're going to perform.
We do comedy here.
We don't care if anyone shows up. That's going to be us. So this is Scarborough, Maine.
Oh.
And it's southern Maine, as we'll talk about 15 minutes outside of Portland, Maine. So that's how you find that. It's about an hour. South of. Yeah, it's about an hour 35 to Boston. So it's commutable from Boston. So it's expensive. It's 5 hours to Caribou, Maine, which is our last Maine episode, the Psycho Samurai. And that's a fun episode. You got to check that out. It's up in it's in Cumberland County. Population here 21,857 is this town. It's up. Check this out. Up 27% since 2020.
God damn it! People are finding out, James.
In 3 years that they went there, because it's a suburb of Maine, or of Boston. You can commute to Boston. So, damn it, we have to move outside of that commute distance. We're moving up toward Bangor. We're up there. That's our area. I'm telling you, we'll find it. Median household income here is high. This is what I mean. It's all people that have like high-paying jobs in Boston. $105,960 is the median household income, almost double the national average. And they need it because median home cost here, $562,900.
Oh, Jesus.
A little bit high. That's the problem here, because it's on the southern coast of Maine.
You got to get north.
There's the beaches there. It's, this is the most populous town in Maine. It's the most populous place. It's not a city. It's a town still. Okay. So most populous town in Maine. Little bit of history here. Most of the history is people would come here, try to settle it. Natives would kill most of them.
Run them out.
The rest would run away. They'd come back with more people, and the natives would kill most of them, and then they'd run away. This happened like 5 times over like 150 years. They kept trying. And it wasn't working.
Scars.
It just wasn't working. Yeah, it just wasn't working. They kept having to go to Boston and then come back. So that's pretty much the history of the place. Otherwise, it's a nice place to sit on the beach, and I'm sure you can eat some clams and lobsters and wonderful. Let's talk about some reviews of this place. Is there anything to complain about? We'll find out. Here we go. 5 stars. Here we go. Scarborough is a great town to live in. It is a growing community with the best of both worlds, sandy beaches or rocky ocean shore, a nice drive in the countryside, or the mountains an hour away.
God damn it.
Sold.
Yeah.
Shit. Fuck. 4 stars. Here we go. Scarborough is a very safe suburban town. There are great beaches and trails to walk on. There, I guess that's are not and. They a little misspelling here. There are not a lot of restaurants, and there isn't really a town center. There is a very wealthy and well-known school district.
Yeah.
Well-known, huh?
I loved everything right up until that wealthy part. That scares me.
It's like, oh, no, I can't.
That'll run me out.
I can't go there. Yeah, they're not going to, can't afford that. So here's 3 stars. I'm not actively involved in local politics, okay?
Great.
But oftentimes there's a big hullabaloo.
I love that word.
The first time anyone's used hullabaloo in a review we've ever done. There's a big hullabaloo about a law about to be passed locally, and then there's a bunch of people with signs and things to promote their side. It happens more than it should probably, though. Yeah, there's called elections. There's an election to see if you want to pass this law, and then people say, I think you should pass it, and they go, I think you should, and then they have an election. It's called democracy. That's how it works.
I feel like me and this person would get along really well.
No, I don't want to see the signs either, but
I don't understand what they're doing.
I understand what's happening.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm not the one. I'm not putting a sign up, but I go, oh, I see what these people are doing. Having a democracy. I get it.
I don't understand their side or their side.
How about this? 1 sign, not 45 on your lawn. That's where I draw the line.
There you go. Yeah.
1 sign. That's fine.
That tells me everything.
And I don't even really want to know. So that's the
don't
other
even
problem.
care.
I'm minding my business over here.
That's your business.
Here's 2 stars. I love this one. I think the info on this site needs updating. Sure, the schools are ranked to be well-performing, but the town hasn't increased services at the rate it's allowed growth. Because of that, schools are overcrowded now, and budgets to be better the schools and library, that's exactly what it says, have not been historically passed by much of a margin. The town is far behind in updating much of what the community uses. Sure, there are beaches, but the parking there is also crowded.
Yeah.
You're complaining.
It's called a beach.
You're I mean, sure, there's the ocean and the beach and it's beautiful, but I mean, you have to look for a parking spot for 1.5 minutes.
Sometimes I have to walk to it.
I mean, I have to walk places. You know what else happens? I get sand in my stuff all the time. I'll go there. I'll come back, sand in my shoes. It's weird.
Pain in the ass.
Can't get it out. It's the beach. Damn it. They complain about sand on the beach. That's perfect.
Wow.
So, and parking and fucking, yes.
Wow.
It's a place everyone wants to go. I can't imagine why it's not.
It's literally the best place in town to be, and everybody's always there. It's
driving there all the time. Things to do, Scarborough Summerfest. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Their 26th year here. It's happening like right now. There's a bigger than ever kids bounce zone. Yikes. The event celebrates community by bringing people together in person, something that is simple, needed, but difficult in today's world. That's what it says. The festival organizer here, let's see what they have to say. I think it's important to do this in this day and age because we're all connected in some way, but it seems to be more digitally. So we're going to have this. Kids in a bounce house. The country band 12/OC.
12/OC.
12/OC. It's all crammed together. Not 2 separate words.
Ounces and cents? What are the, I don't know.
I don't know what that means, but it says whose members are 3 brothers and a drummer from Portland. 3 drummers and 3 brothers and a guy from Portland. They'll be performing.
They should have called it that.
And at
that makes more sense than 12/OC.
3 brothers and a drummer from Portland. I get it.
I'd go watch it.
Because I'm like 12/OC. Is this some sort of like, did they fuck up and we're putting like computer code on here? Is there? It's like a DOS startup. What's happening here? And then there's the Scarborough Summerfest Cornhole Tournament, which you also definitely want to be a part of. And they're going to have throughout the year they have a live animal show at one point in town.
Okay.
I think the animals strip a little bit. They dance. It's pretty sexy. No,
it's better than the dead animal show.
That would be, marionette of dead animals. Roadkill. It's Roadkill Theater, everyone. That would be sad. Speaking of
raccoon with a smashed head.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Just getting jerked around by the wires. That's horrible, isn't it? But with the full costume on, because they're playing a part. It's a musical. This is Oklahoma, Jimmy. I mean, we're going to sing it and dance it. This is South Pacific. It's going to be an old-timey musical.
Reenactment of Rent.
Speaking of depressing, let's talk about a murder here. Okay.
All right.
Let's talk about some murder because this is a thick one. We got to get into this. Let's go to 2001 here, all right?
Yeah.
2001, so not too far back.
No.
It's the internet and cell phones. So
Yeah.
That's
Is it pre or post?
This is 2001, so there's still there's internet.
The pre or post?
It's dial-up. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's pre. This
is
we
it
have
pre
dial-up.
or post, James? We're at in the year.
Oh no, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
We'll start out before, and then
it
will go right to after. Like it's
that matters tremendously.
This is all within everything that happens is within a month of 9/11 too. That's the other thing here. So yeah, that actually plays a part in this.
Okay.
So not in terms of like a building didn't fall on anybody or anything, but you know what I mean. Okay. So 2001, Amy St. Laurent. Okay. We'll talk about her. She's 25. Amy is at this time. Mm-hmm. And Amy grew up in New Hampshire and then moved to South Portland when her mother and father divorced. And her sister, she and her sister lived with her mom and her stepfather there. And she also would hang out with her father as well. So she had a nice childhood.
Yeah.
She's very active and very smart and very, she's a doer. You know what I mean? Yeah. She would ski. She's a skier.
Yeah.
She was on the 5th grade jump roping team. They had a jump roping team.
Wow.
Remember girls in elementary school who could jump rope like crazy? And you'd be like, whoa, that's wild.
Never thought of having a team for it, though.
I know. I mean, you'd see it outside at recess. That was the team. And it wasn't formal. They didn't have uniforms or anything.
Yeah. When I was a kid, Double Dutch had a day.
They'd go crazy for that.
It grew. There was 2 or 3 years in school that Double Dutch was a real thing. They were doing crazy shit too.
In New York, that was a big deal. That was there was girls they do the thing that run up the wall and do all that shit.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you guys are out of your minds. Yeah, impressive stuff. So she does all these. She runs track, all these athletic things. And then when she's 13, her doctor diagnoses her with, and I didn't know a person could get this. I thought only a golden retriever could get this, but hip dysplasia.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's like if you have a big dog, you worry about that. I never thought about a 13-year-old girl having hip dysplasia, but
German Shepherds, yeah.
Yeah, so my dad's German Shepherd had it. So by the time she was 16, she had 2 surgeries. She was in a body cast for a long time, had to do months of physical therapy, but it came under control, though, and she was able to...
She worked it out?
Yeah, she was able to live a normal life. A lot of work, though, and it was tough here. Her best friend, Katie, says how Amy was just hilarious, even through her surgery. She was very bright, and which I don't know how you'd be. If you're in a body cast and your hip is fucked up.
Pain all day, right?
I'd be a grumpy asshole, man.
Oh, I'd be
so grumpy. Just leave me alone, okay? I don't want to talk about it. So she said they were, they used to write notes in secret codes in class in case the teachers confiscated them. I like that. That's fun. If you make up your own language, it's kind of interesting. I like your style.
If you're saying shit that has to be coded as to keep it from other people, that's pretty rad.
Yeah. I'm saying a lot of it was about,
boys.
But what she did say, quote, this is her friend, we would laugh for hours. It wasn't typical high school stuff. It wasn't just makeup or boys. So that's good. She has a boyfriend who we're going to talk about here who the names that we have had on this show, people's given legal names that we don't even have to, are wild.
Zero forethought.
Zero forethought. This week, the last episode we did, the last Express, we had a doctor named Dr. Richard Wurst. His name was Dick Wurst, which is bad. This guy tops it, though, this girl's boyfriend. So Amy graduates from South Portland High School in 1994. Yeah. She graduates with honors. She's very smart, but she didn't feel like going to college.
Really?
Her mother says high school was easy and kind of boring, and I think she thought college was going to be more of the same. Didn't want to sit in the classroom. She wanted to do stuff. So she moved out and got a job instead. Moved out of the parents' house. Now... She's almost 20, and she meets another 19-year-old boy, which is good. He's not 38. That's helpful. His name, Jimmie, and everyone out there listening on Small Tap, brace yourselves, Richard Swallow.
No, you don't get to do that.
His name is Dick Swallow. I swear to God, his name is Dick Swallow. Dick Swallow? Really? He's 19 in fucking the late, so in the 70s, his parents didn't know not to name. In 1979, his parents didn't go, the kids won't call him Dick Swallow, right? They didn't think about that? Are they from another country? Like, there's no fucking excuse for why you would do that to your poor child.
What did Richard Swallow Sr. do? Because he had, that's the only reason
Dick
to name
Swallow.
somebody that is if they're, whoever
if it's a
they're
legacy.
named after did something fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Did Dick Swallow invent gravity or
He
discover
must
it? I
have.
guess
I think he cured polio, I believe.
he fucking better have.
Jonas Salk just knocked him over and took what he had in his hand. But I believe he's the guy that took it over. So you have to name your grandson after him. But
Did Tesla rip him off and then he was ripped off by Franklin?
by Edison.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think that's what happened here. So, yep, she falls in love with Dick Swallow. Which is a crazy sentence to say with a complete straight face and absolutely meaning it 100%. She fell in love with young Dick Swallow.
Because she's got a trapper keeper and she's writing Mrs. Dick Swallow.
Mrs. Dick Swallow. Where do you hear what his friend's name is? How does this happen? The two of them together should never be in the same room together because of their names. So we'll talk about it. So they fall in love. They move in together in a little apartment, which, they're 19. So, Christ, I had like a 480 square foot apartment when I was 19. So I get it. She was working at the Dunkin' Donuts on Broadway. As it is the law in New England, sometime between the ages of 16 and 20, you must do at least a couple of months at a Dunkin' Donuts.
You either work there or you patronize it, but that is your penance.
Some countries have you have to have military service.
Yeah.
It's conscription and all that. This is the same thing in New England.
Yeah.
You have to do a few shifts at the Dunkin'. You have to. So friends said that she knew she was smarter and, her end potential wasn't Dunkin' Donuts clerk, and she knew that. Her friend said she didn't want the menial life. She wanted more than that. Okay. So she found a job at Pratt & Whitney, which is a big plant in North Berwick, and she worked overnight, the overnight shift making jet engine parts.
Wow.
Yeah. She's
20?
At 19, 20, yeah.
Wow.
And then she worked her way up to be in an administrative position. So she's not on the line, and she's working when it's daylight, and she, is working in an office.
If that makes you feel more comfortable about getting on a fucking plane.
Yeah.
A 19-year-old built this shit.
A 19-year-old built that little fan in the engine. So by then, they're living in a 2-bedroom apartment with Dick Swallow. Yeah. It's her, Dick Swallow, and a big black long-haired cat named Alex. That's the little family she's got going on. Yeah, it's fun. She wants to save her money up for a down payment on a house. Yeah. So she's all excited here. Then, here in mid-2001, Amy and Dick Swallow break up.
What happened?
I believe she realized his name was Dick Swallow, and then she broke up with him probably and said, I'm not going to be Mrs. Dick Swallow. I'm not going to be Amy Swallow. That's just too easy. He said their interests just changed. They're kids. Kids grow up and away from each other,
also,
and that's that.
She's probably a little more ambitious, it sounds. She's out there building jet engines, for Christ's sake.
And he even said she was wanted to be a career woman and wanted to do a lot, and he said that he was content. He wanted to sit on the couch and watch TV. I
wanted to be 19.
He said, quote, I couldn't keep up with her. Yeah. Literally, she's just too much.
Makes sense.
We had reached a stalemate. To better each other's lives, we had to leave each other. So at least they realized it. This isn't working anymore. There wasn't any kind of acrimony, or they didn't hate each other afterwards. They actually remained friends.
Beautiful.
They just realized, we're not good for this. We like each other, but we're not, compatible anymore. She also had some dreams of modeling a bit here.
Is that right?
She's very pretty. She's a really pretty girl, blonde hair and, proportionate and, she's a pretty girl. She really is. So she spent a whole bunch of money to have photos taken by a photography place in Portland, for her, whatever you call it, racket. Portfolio or whatever there. There's a few of them here where she's like in this dark dress and all being all sultry and shit.
Sure.
They look good though. I mean, she looked like she could have done it, I guess. She wanted to go to Florida here. She had feelings for a kid from high school that she liked. And he moved down to Florida. His name's Jason Callias. So in late September 2001, pretty much it had to have been right when planes started flying again, because it was less than 2 weeks after 9/11.
Yeah.
She flew down to Florida.
Through the smoke plume.
Yeah, she's flying down to Florida. So I guess she wanted to visit this Jason, and Jason has a 2-year-old son as well at this point. She's going to visit them. Friends say he introduced her. I don't think he was feeling it or something, because instead he introduced her to a neighbor of his. Hey, you want to hang out with this guy? He'll end up coming, we'll talk about this, but he'll end up coming and hanging out. And at one point, she's hanging out with Dick Swallow and this man, and his name is Eric, I couldn't make it up, Rubright. So if you rub right, he'll Dick Swallow, and then you're going to be great. Rub right and Dick Swallow, they cannot hang out. That sounds like a law firm in a porn movie. Right? It's
Rub right and swallow.
Rub right and swallow, you'd go, and it'd be two like hot chicks sitting there like, what's your case? You know? Two hot blonde ladies would be ready to take your case before they tear off their business suit and blow you.
Jesus Christ.
Let me give you an initial consultation. And just
Rub right and swallow.
Rub right and swallow. That is the best porn law firm ever. Rub right and swallow. But that's who she's talking to. Rub right and swallow here.
Yeah.
So Rub right, that's the neighbor. She Rub right and Amy went to the beach and talked about music. They took a ride on his motorcycle. Rub right's got a motorcycle.
How Florida is this?
Oh my God, it's so Florida.
Ride a motorcycle down to the beach.
Come on, his motorcycle's like a dirt bike, though. Probably, why it's Florida.
A 125.
Yeah,
you gotta. If you sit on the back, You gotta carry the boom box.
Yeah, I don't have an extra helmet either. Sorry. She's like, that's all right. Just sand in her mouth.
Here, put this baseball cap on backwards.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Let's keep your hair together. So Rubright said he dug her. He was into her, found her hot and attractive and everything. But Amy made it clear that we're just going to be friends.
Okay.
He tried to, he was like, hey, and she's like, well, I just like you as a friend, not any like that.
Date a guy on a Yamaha 250.
Yeah, you can't do that. So Amy went back home to Maine, and Rubright called her a little while later, a couple weeks later, and said, I'm coming north. Do you mind if I stay with you for a couple days? Okay. Just as a friend, not anything weird or anything. You got a couch got a couch I can crash on at this point. So she, I guess, told her friend she was a little bit hesitant about it because this is some guy she barely knows, the neighbor of a guy she liked in high school who she hung out with once, and he likes her and she doesn't really dig. So is that the guy you're going to invite to sleep in your house? Probably.
That's a bit weird.
So Rubright rented a car and arrived in Maine on Thursday. Drove it up from Florida.
Oh, my God.
Fucking, there he goes. He rented a car, gets there October 18th. The next night, it was Amy, Rubright, and Swallow all had a lobster dinner at her apartment.
Wow.
Swallow said he wanted to meet Rubright. He's like, I got to meet this guy. The guy, we're meant to know each other. He literally said he wanted to know her. We're meant to know each other. He said, I got to know this guy. I'm not even kidding, though.
It's unbelievable.
We're meant to know each other. He said, I was concerned about her having some guy she'd only known for a short time come up and visit her. So Swallow and Rubright stayed in her apartment. Swallow's going to keep guard on her.
Really?
Yeah, make sure he doesn't rub it too right. Swallow stayed on the couch, Rubright in the second bedroom. So everybody sleeps in their own quarters.
She's doing fantastic.
She's still got the 2-bedroom from when Swallow was there. Right. So around 9 a.m. Saturday here, Amy and Rubright drove to Boston, where they spent the day at the Museum of Fine Arts, and they went to some other museum and, doing Boston shit, touristy shit. Swallow called her around 11 a.m. on her cell phone to tell her that he bought tickets to an Ozzy Osbourne concert.
Hell yeah.
Got some Ozzy tickets.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking rock on.
Ozfest is coming to Boston. Let's go.
Let's do it. And he wanted to make sure that you're still okay and Rubright hasn't thrown you into the ocean yet. So
he's saying, I'm going to go. You guys stay here? Is he bringing her?
No. He's just telling her he bought tickets to a future Ozzy Osbourne concert.
Okay,
and he's saying, I know you're hanging out with Rubright. Is everything okay? Is he, has he tried to kill you or anything? So.
Okay.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover. Yeah. Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing. No. They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently wherever your problem areas are. Tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Now, Rubright said Amy wanted to show him the nightlife in Portland, Maine.
Oh,
So they left Boston and drove to the Old Port here. That's the place. It's a bar or whatever, arriving about 10:30 p.m. On the way, Amy called her mother to ask if she wanted to join them for a drink.
Oh, very nice.
And Diane, her mother, said, no, thank you. She, it was 10:30 at night. She's already in. So October 21st, 2001, this is. Rubright says he and Amy are shooting pool at the Foreplay Sports Bar. For like golf, foreplay, little, and it's on 4th Street also. So it's a little play on words there, buddy. She's gonna bring Rubright and Swallow to the fucking foreplay. This is weird. So
too much.
Amy ran into two men she seemed to know, is what Rubright will say later. Yeah. And he said that she hugged them, but she did not introduce them to him, so he doesn't know who they were. At midnight, they went to the Pavilion, which is a dance club on Middle Street, and Rubright said at that place they ran into the same two guys. Again, a few minutes later, they came in and whatever, and he said Amy danced with them for a while, one and then the other, and was dancing with them, friends of hers. Yeah. So Rubright said, I don't know if she knew them from work or who the hell knows. I don't know who the hell she knows. She went to, she worked at Dunkin' Donuts. She could go know anybody. He said Amy had a few beers over the course of the night, but was pretty sober. She wasn't drunk. They were spaced out,
She's a New England girl. She can handle it.
She can handle a couple of beers. She's 25 years old and from Maine. She can handle a couple of beers. But not only that, she said, it was, they'd have a drink, then she'd dance for a while, and they're spaced out, You
work it off.
Yeah, last call here was around 12:30 a.m. Jesus.
Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know why there at this joint. But
live a little, guys.
Good
Jesus.
Lord, 12:30. We just got here, for Christ's sake. So Rubright said he looked over the balcony of the 2-story club and saw Amy talking with the same two men, who were, he said, both around 5'8" to 5'10". One had long brown hair and a pot belly, and the other had brown hair with gel in it with blonde highlights.
Oh, 2001.
Douchebags is what he just described. Yeah, a couple of douchebags. Gelled brown hair with blonde highlights. Welcome, everyone, to 2001. Sugar Ray did this to us.
He did.
Rubright said he finished his beer and visited the bathroom. When he came out around 1 a.m., the bar was closing. How long was he in there? Rubright Rubright was dropping the kids off at the pool over here. What are you doing? Hold on, I'm going to blow up the club bathroom before I leave. Who does that? Go home.
Sounds like that lobster dinner wasn't quite done.
Man, he's staying at a chick's house though.
He doesn't want to do it at her house.
Like, I don't want to blow it up. What if she changes her mind? This is a smart move. I'm going to get it over with now.
There's no lobby in this hotel.
No, exactly. This is rough. I'm going to have to do it in the yard otherwise. So he said he couldn't see Amy in the crowd at that point, so he waited for her outside.
Okay.
By 1:20, he said she never showed up. So he left without her and drove back to her apartment, assuming that she ditched him and took off.
What?
Yeah, he said, I waited outside till everyone was out of the bar at 1:20, and she wasn't in the parking lot, and nobody else was in the bar, so I figured she must have left. She probably said, where is this asshole? Yeah. He's shitting the place up. Either that or she thought he left. So
that's a bizarre move, though. It's the right move, obviously, in that scenario, but doesn't that feel weird?
How long do you wait?
To leave after we went out together and then just go back to her place?
To her apartment. Well, he figured, I guess I'll run into her there.
Yeah.
He thought she was already there, is what he says. He said it was weird. I didn't understand. Now, later on, these other two men will tell police that they left the club before closing and actually took Amy to a party at a nearby apartment that never really came together. Only a few people showed up, and not everybody showed up. So they dropped her back off at the pavilion at 2 a.m., back to where they got her from, at the pavilion. I don't know why they wouldn't take her home.
Right.
Why they'd take her there, but I don't think she doesn't live right there, so it would have been a drive.
Unless she left a car there?
No, she drove with Rubright in his rental car.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know if she thought that Rubright would be there or what. So Rubright said that Amy never called him or returned home, though, that night. So Sunday morning, he said he packed up his belongings and moved to the home of a friend. He said because her car was in the driveway, just like it was when they went to Boston that morning, because he drove. He said he fished a house key out of he had a house key, but he thought about going inside, but he said, I don't know if she's in there or if maybe she doesn't want me in there. So he just slept in the car in the driveway, Rubright said.
That's a good move.
He said slept in the car in the driveway. Then the next morning he went into the house and took a shower. He said then he went in and took a shower.
Oh, God. Yeah, because he's still got remnants of
club funk.
Club shitting.
Yeah, club shits on him. And he slept in a rental car with that.
Gross. God damn it.
He said that he was pissed off about the night before getting ditched in a strange city. He said, I mean, it wasn't like we weren't engaged or anything, but you don't go out with someone and then ditch them like that. He said, fuck it, I'm just going to drive back to Portland and I'll spend a couple days. He spent a couple days hanging out around Portland, then he flew back home to Florida after that.
Okay, left the rental car at the hotel at the airport.
Flew back on Tuesday. Yeah. So he said he put her belongings, because he had like her purse and shit in his car.
Wow.
Because she went into the bar, just took like her ID and stuff, didn't take her whole purse with her. So he had her purse and stuff. So he said he put her belongings on the kitchen table and left an irate note on the door, which was discovered later, that said, where the fuck did you go?
Oh.
Okay. Are you believing this guy?
I mean, he's making some weird decisions, but all those decisions after going back to her house make sense.
That all makes sense.
I wouldn't go in somebody's house.
Exactly.
If I was just
I thought the same thing. Yeah.
Going back to her house is fucking weird in the first place. But if you're staying there, then that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
If you lose track of each other, but
that's the only place he knows
track of each other. Yeah.
That's what I mean. And they both have cell phones on them too.
Other good point. Yeah.
That's the other thing. I get that it's not now where you text somebody or whatever. It was 2001, but
it took a while to make a text, but you could do it.
Yeah, and you could just call someone too.
Yeah, there's that.
So she did not also show up for work the next day either, which is she's never called, no showed. So this is a little bit weird. Now people her parents start calling the police on the whole deal. So police thought that Rubright's scenario seemed suspicious.
It is weird, right?
They didn't like his story. So let me get this straight. You saw her talking to two strange men, went in the bathroom for a half hour, came out, and these two strange men, they just disappeared, and then you waited. Then you went back to her house, you slept in her car, and then you went in and took a shower in her house and put her purse in there and shit and left. But you hung out for a couple days. Like
they called last call, and you're like, I got a shit?
You're like, perfect, dump time. So
who's ever done that?
He said he was standing on line to the bathroom.
Oh.
Which usually there isn't a big line in the men's room.
Yeah, and if you're gonna shit, that's not where you're doing, because in a club, God,
there's not even doors on most of those fucking stalls.
There's not a dry spot to stand in there, let alone sit.
You're gonna shit at the end of the night?
No, thank you.
No. You shit at like 8 p.m. and then it's it. That's the only way.
I'll go to the beach and shit in the sand before I do that.
Cover it up like a cat. I see Jimmie just with his hands on all fours with his hands fucking kicking sand back on it.
I'll sit in the sand and get it all to clump up and knock it off before I try to clean up in a bathroom after a bar night. Fuck that.
Shit. So Gross. They were like, you left the old port there, that area alone. You found your way back to her home in the middle of the night. Not even you've only been there like once. Then you slept in your car. So he said he would take a polygraph. They said, we're going to need you to take a polygraph. He said, okay. The results are inconclusive.
Okay.
But they said he seemed extraordinarily nervous during the test. He was very jittery and shaky and shit. So a lot of the investigators were like, whatever happened to her, this is our guy. Period.
He knows something.
He knows something. So this is according to the investigators there. They said, definitely we're looking at this guy. But he insisted that he said, I know it's weird, but this is what happened. He said, quote, it was weird. I didn't understand. But he said, I'm telling you, talk to the two guys. She talked to them at the one club and then the other club, and she was talking to them the whole time, and that's what she was doing while I went to the bathroom. So if she went anywhere, it's probably with those guys. He said one had long hair, other gel, douchey, Sugar Ray hair. So do there. So one of the guys they talked to, this is Gel Boy here.
Yeah.
Gel Guy is Jeffrey Russ. He goes by Russ Gorman. He's 21.
Middle name Russell, obviously. Has to be, right?
Yeah, or he just goes by Russ. So
don't like that at all.
Russ Gorman here. He's 21. And Jeffrey, he told police that he dropped her off. He's the guy that said, I took her. Yeah, we went to this party that never happened. And by 2 a.m., she was back at the club. We dropped her off. They find him. That's his story. He came forward because they were looking for him, and he heard that people were looking for her. So he called the cops and said, you might be looking to talk to me because I talked to her that night and we were hanging out with her. So he came forward to say he'd been with her that night, saw her at the pool room, again at the pavilion, invited her to a party at a friend's apartment on Brighton Avenue, and had driven her back to the pavilion around 2 a.m. when the party didn't materialize. He said he went back to that apartment after dropping her off and slept on the couch. So problem is, people outside the pavilion that were still hanging out, smoking cigarettes, staff and people like that were cleaning up, didn't see him drop her back off. And people at the apartment said that he didn't return that quickly, because he said that he dropped her off at 2, then went right back to the apartment, which was right there. I mean, like short distance. And they said, no, he didn't return till later, actually. So they actually know that because police records show he was stopped for driving with his high beams on at 3 a.m.
Oh, God damn it.
So at 3 a.m. he was out. So they talked to Dick Swallow. Dick Swallow said he's never heard of the two men that Amy was talking to.
Russ?
Don't know Russ, don't know the other guy. He said he doesn't believe she would leave with them voluntarily to go to a party, is what he said. He said she would not just take off with other people. I don't know about that, but her best friend from high school, says she was street smart and had really good instincts, and she doesn't think Amy would have voluntarily put herself in a dangerous situation. But she might. I mean, maybe you don't know. That's the thing. He said she could look at a person and tell whether a person was good or bad.
Okay.
But you can be a very smart and savvy person and still get fooled by a bad person. I mean,
just because she had hip dysplasia doesn't make her part German Shepherd.
That's
she doesn't know.
She doesn't tilt her head and go when something happens.
She doesn't sense danger and evil. Calm down.
I'm sure like all the girls Ted Bundy took, not all of them were dumb, probably a lot of them were probably pretty savvy and street smart. And you either get murdered or that's how you meet a husband back then. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, guys walk up to you talk to him, or is he going to kill me, or does he have a good job and maybe we can talk? And
I assure you, every man that's ever spoken to any woman had some sinister intentions. Not necessarily murder or rape,
but
they
sexual.
just had some like, how do I convince this woman unknowingly, unwittingly to be naked with me?
They want to do dirty shit to you.
Yeah.
That's
every time we've done everything, we wanted it to be worse.
We were thinking of way worse stuff. this is the worst stuff we could get away with today. That's what it is. Without you fucking telling your friends about it and embarrassing us. That's really how we were.
Without you calling the cops.
We're as gross as we can be without you telling your friends about it. That's how it works. Can't be gross enough to where it's a subject of conversation.
Right.
So the cop said that something happened to this girl, and we don't know yet what it was. She did not just walk away. And then her mother said, "This is literally my worst nightmare, and now I'm getting to live it."
Right.
So she's missing. Everybody freaks the fuck out. Everyone keeps saying there's no way she'd run away. She wouldn't just ditch her job like that.
Yeah.
Just no, there's no way. So there's a huge missing persons search by the next day. She's very cute also. So there's going to be...
That's no good.
She's a very pretty girl. It's going to be all hands on deck for this.
That's going to be in the newspaper.
Strawberry blonde, Jimmy.
Oh, no.
All hands on deck. That's going to... Yeah.
Red tin shit.
I swear to God. Columbo, who's not even a real detective, was on the case. Everyone was. Kojak was involved. You name it. NCIS was involved in this.
Beretta heard about it. Fuck.
Chris Maloney tried to solve the case. You know what I mean? It's a lot.
Yeah.
So her friends plastered the streets of Portland, and they're looking for. And there's not a lot of other young ladies missing at this time. So let's take a peek and try to find her. Hundreds of flyers go up. She's officially declared missing on October 23rd. 2 days later, her family offers a $35,000 reward to anyone that can help find her in any condition.
That's a good reward.
That's a real good. Yeah, that's a reward that'll make people tell on people if you know something.
Yeah, that'll change some people's lives for like a long time.
I don't like my brother that much. I think I'm going to turn him in. Like that's one of those.
That truck I was looking at looks nice right now.
Shit, I got a lot of credit card debt right now. Tell you what, that was had a rough run of it back then.
2001, you could buy a sick car for $35,000.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. So the mother said, quote, "I envision and imagine her out there somewhere cold and alone. I wonder if she's scared and why someone hasn't found her yet." That poor mother. That poor lady, Diane Jenkins. That poor lady.
Jesus.
Everybody can feel that in your
She's
gut.
great at strangling my heart.
I mean, that's...
Those are the words that do it.
She's trying to get people to help look for her daughter. So she's trying to find... She found the words. And they said that her father, so her stepfather, said, "We're confident the tireless work of the Portland Police Department and the effort of the larger community will return Amy to us. Together, we'll bring Amy home." So they talk about that there were over 100,000 missing people in America at the time. 90% of them are found, because most of them are just people that take off on their own. But they said these are a person who knows a lot about this organization said the kind of troubling facts surrounding Amy, though. Yeah. She said, "We find more women in that age group are victims of foul play. When there's foul play, the more time that goes by, the less chance there is of finding that person."
Right.
Is there a 25-year-old person who's got the wherewithal to call home if they want to, to call their parents unless they're incapacitated and can't. So, and the odds that she's talking about, they're not great, but they're even worse if you're on this show. That's the problem.
Absolutely.
It goes from slim to none quickly.
Almost zero, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody says she's responsible, well-adjusted, wouldn't just, take off. The cops actually agree with that assessment, too. They don't find anything in her, talking to her friends, they don't find, she actually used to smoke meth with this one guy and has a secret group of, they don't find any of that. She is what she is. So they are investigating it as if it's a crime. They search for clues in woods and roads. I mean, there's people, they have dogs going everywhere. There's search warrants for people's houses. They're searching Rubright stuff, searching all these people, I think. I think Rubright got searched. The Portland police chief said this is not a typical missing person. All investigative leads lead to the fact that there's something criminal happening here.
Yeah.
So the police are further able to confirm Rubright's seemingly unlikely event because they're looking at him. They're like, and then he takes off to Florida. I don't think so. But a security camera captured him buying gas at 1:38 p.m. by himself.
With toilet paper attached to his shoe.
Yeah, just
God damn it.
Holding his ass cheeks together. And police were able to locate the toll taker who allowed him to pass about 15 minutes later.
Wow.
That he talked to, and they fucking recognized him.
This guy's bizarre story is true.
Yes. He actually shit the place up, slept in his car, did all this stuff.
Rinsed his shit in her shower and left her stuff on the desk.
So then they were like, okay, we got to talk to Russ Gorman. And also, a few days after the disappearance, Gorman's friend Ryan Campbell reported his 9mm handgun had been stolen the previous weekend.
Oh, no.
So they get a search warrant for Gorman's car, as we'll talk about. They don't find anything in there, but what they do find is kind of evidentiary in a way. The car is clean, like just got detailed clean.
Really?
Yes, they said it's a little odd there. Gorman, though, apparently is going to violate his probation, so they're going to be able to arrest him and bring him in. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about him for a second. He went to, by the way, before he took off from town, he went to his grandmother's house and told her that he was carrying a gun and said that he would kill himself before he'd be arrested, and then he took off. That's a bad sign.
Nice to see you, Sonny. See you at Christmas?
Fuck, man. Yeah. So, Gorman, come on over. I got a fruitcake for you.
What is that? What a weird thing to say to your grandma.
Gorman's one friend had said, that's that girl you were talking to. You should call police when they saw her on the poster. So that's why him and his roommate, Kush Sharma is his name, which sounds like a strain of weed.
Or really nice toilet paper.
Great. This is Kush Sharma. It's the best. He said, exactly what happened, and then he said they talked again. Gorman said that Amy had lost track of Rubright at closing time, so she agreed to go to the party in that apartment. Yeah. So he said that Amy grew uncomfortable being in the house alone with the two men when nobody else showed up. So Gorman said he drove her back to the apartment, or back to Old Port, dropped her off in front of the pavilion, and then returned home. His roommate said, he was in bed by 2 a.m., which we know isn't true because he got pulled over at 3 a.m. Gorman was one of the first people to call the cops. He didn't seem evasive, but parts of the story aren't adding up, like when he went home and why is he lying about that? So after they search his car, he takes off back home to Alabama. He's born in Troy, Alabama.
Uh-huh.
He also grew up in Florida as well. Okay. He's been doing drugs since he was 12.
Yeah.
He has 2 kids that he doesn't pay for by 21.
What?
One of the cops said he knew Russ Gorman most of the time he was living in Troy as a kid, and he said he knew that he left and came back, and he said, I don't want to talk about anything while he was a juvenile. He had a lot of shit.
Yeah.
His parents got divorced before he was 1, which is fine, but his father accused his mother of beating the baby with a belt.
At least 1?
A baby.
Wow.
When he was 18, he was charged with domestic battery against his mother.
Wow.
Yes. His mother, though, refused to file a complaint, and the case was eventually dropped. She wouldn't talk against him.
She's been had it coming for 17 years.
Yeah. In court papers, it said Jeffrey does not have a healthy relationship with his mother. I guess not. He moved with his mother in 2000 to the Portland area just the year before. His mother's name is Tammy Westbrook, and her boyfriend to raise golden retriever puppies.
Oh.
As a business, I guess. He also worked part-time as a car detailer and would hang out with a bunch of his friends and sleep at the apartment on Brighton Avenue most of the time, which is a short drive from the Old Port area. Yeah. The cops don't know what to do, so they get a psychic in here because they want to find Amy.
Yeah.
Vicky Monroe they bring in, a psychic messenger, that she's calling herself.
Okay.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right, let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad.
Right.
There's chemicals and things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up. For energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff. And I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool. And you can personalize this portion and you can put filters on it. And get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Calling all dog owners. Your furry friend deserves top-notch nourishment, and Ollie delivers the clean, fresh nutrition your dog needs in 5 flavors they'll absolutely flip over. Ollie is made in U.S. kitchens with ingredients carefully sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world, with absolutely no harmful fillers or preservatives. With protein-first recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes, fresh turkey with blueberries, or fresh lamb with cranberries, you might start thinking, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie. Give your pup a fresh start this new year by letting them taste test a personalized meal plan with Ollie. Head to ollie.com/Wondery. Tell them all about your dog and use code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box of meals when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a clean bowl guarantee on the first box. So if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/Wondery and enter code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie.
She's okay. She told investigators she had a clear vision of Amy. Quote, she was standing in front of me, Amy, full, just like I'm looking at you, she said. So the first thing she said was very pronounced. She mentioned the suspect's name. She mentioned the guy's fucking name. She said Russ.
She said Russ?
Yeah. So the cops said, I went, wow, okay. He said, now there was no information in the paper. There was no way you could put 2 and 2 together at that time. No one knew they had talked to him. This was not in public at all. She just knew. Then the psychic said, quote, there was a blow to the head, trauma, a blow to the head. And then she's suddenly standing in front of this large farm, which I then find out is a very popular farm, Smiling Hill Farm. She was beyond that road, that farm, but not too far, is what the psychic said.
She said all these things without knowing anything.
Without knowing shit, I guess. Just what she could read in the paper, but that's just that a girl is missing and disappeared from a bar.
But
that's
she
all
got
that's
a
in the
name
paper.
of a farm and a dude's name and a head injury. That's amazing.
She said, I see a yellow house. She's telling me he lived in 2 states.
Oh, my God.
He lived down south, and now he's living with his mother, which is true.
Vicky.
Look for the house. Look for her. They're close.
Vicky did it, and she's framing him.
Dude, I'm saying, Vicky.
That's incredible.
Vicky's giving me creepy goosebumps here because then December 8th, 2001, police are searching the woods near Gorman's mother's house in Scarborough, and they had a bunch of dogs, and a volunteer finds a soft spot in the earth. Whoa. They bring the dog in, and they put together enough clues. Here, the earth had been disturbed recently. 30 minutes later, a detective's on his hands and knees at the site, digging out soil, and he found a bit of gray fleece matching the Pratt & Whitney sweatshirt that she had been wearing when she vanished.
Oh, my God.
They find her body with the sweater and with the sweatshirt, and she's definitely dead here.
Wow.
Gorman had been living here for the past couple of years with his mother and other relatives at 68 County Road.
How did he think he was going to get away with that?
Just a few hundred yards from where the body was found. He buried her. She's 3 feet in the ground. He buried her 3 feet.
Oh, my God.
He buried it. Was just to happen to be a soft spot in the earth, and they were really looking hard around there.
Wow.
So the attorney general said the key to this case was finding Amy because, quote, no body, no crime. No body, no crime.
How does it always happen?
Every fucking time. It's amazing. Between the birds and how many people say those words together.
It's a message, James, with island music and this many birds. We have to live near a beach.
We need to. If someone wants us there. Jesus Christ, that's crazy.
What the fuck?
So now now it's a criminal investigation, a homicide investigation. They couldn't find any physical evidence, though. No gun was discovered. She is shot in the head. We'll talk about.
Really?
The psychic said the other thing that she said, that this is what the cop said. The other thing she said that I remember distinctly was that Amy would be found before the first snow. As we were retrieving the body, as we were pulling Amy out, it started snowing like crazy.
No. What?
Yeah, this is a good psychic. Let's just say she nailed it, dude. She nailed it.
Why doesn't she win every fucking lottery every couple
time?
Of weeks? She should have all the money.
She doesn't know the numbers, but she knows the name of the guy who's going to win the lottery. That's what she knows, but not the numbers.
And the gas station he buys the ticket.
And the gas station. It's going to come from there. The cop said he credits good old-fashioned police work for solving the case, but he also says the psychic helped. He said she said things that were totally unique and outside of any information that she could possibly get. In other words, it made it to, oh my God, there's something here, is what the cop said. So
Deputy Vicky now, right?
Yeah, well, she should be something. They should just ask her about everything. Let me ask you something. The autopsy shows that Amy has been beaten, sexually assaulted, then shot in the head.
Oh, God.
It's horrible. Her underwear were twisted around her ankles. That's how they found her. Toxicology tests indicated traces of fucking GHB.
Wow.
Drugged her. Yeah. This is disgusting.
What a scumbag.
Police had collected anecdotal accounts from people that know Russ Gorman that he has used GHB to try to have sex with women in the past before. His friends are like, that's his move. But they had nothing to tie that to him. They said that the case didn't really add up to much of a case against Gorman outside of it being found by his mom's house because there was no semen or other bodily fluids that could be tested for DNA. Can't find the murder weapon, nothing. So Gorman, they wanted to talk to him. He had volunteered to talk before. Then he put off a police officer's request to take a polygraph exam, saying he should see a lawyer first. He also said he was too busy to allow the forensic experts to inspect his car as well. That was before they got the warrant. Yeah. Police decided to interview his roommates, seeking collaboration. His one roommate, Jason Cook, said he'd been on the computer when he got home, sending an email message to somebody here. Gorman said that he recalled making a phone call, but he couldn't remember to whom. Basically, his friends are saying that they got home between 3 o'clock and 3:15, and he wasn't there yet.
Oh.
Yes, and unlike his one friend said. And they said, another friend said when he got up at 4:30 or 5 a.m., Gorman was fully clothed as though he just arrived home. He said he was washing up fully clothed. Yeah. So his roommate, who said he got back by 2, they asked him to take a polygraph exam, and he didn't want to. So once they get him to, he said he could only be certain that he was home at 4:15. He wasn't sure he was home at 2.
I don't know any other time.
They said, why is your car so clean? And he said, well, I used to work for a carpet cleaning company, and I do detailing. He said, I usually clean my car twice a month. All I did is vacuum and wipe down the dash. There was no work involved. It wasn't like scrubbing carpets or anything like that. Yeah. He said, I would have taken hours to clean it correctly. What, are you kidding me? So Gorman here, in the few weeks that this has gone by, they said when he's first interviewed by police, he had a wholesome look, quote, with fashionably coiffed hair and a certain boyishness. 2 weeks later, they said he went from looking like an all-American to a roadie for a heavy metal band with multiple piercings, a shaved head, and several new tattoos.
What?
He just turned into Lemmy from Motorhead in fucking 15 minutes after he murdered a girl, apparently.
pierced himself and several tattoos?
Was just screaming ace of spades at people, and they're like, what is wrong with this? Several new tattoos.
Wow.
Then December 9th, there's a phone call, okay? 2 days after the body's discovered, detectives get a call from a woman named Mary Young of Delray Beach, Florida. What the fuck could she possibly have to do with this, right?
That's far, yeah.
Well, she wanted to say, she called the Portland police to say that her friend Tammy Westbrook had told her a story. That's Gorman's mom. This woman reported that Westbrook received a phone call from her son, Russ Gorman, in which he confessed to the murder of Amy. She said that he told her that he shot her in the head, a detail that investigators hadn't
told anybody. Yeah,
they hadn't told anybody, and the autopsy hadn't been completed, so they had no idea themselves. They said this young woman said she urged Westbrook to tell police, but her friend refused. She said, "I can't do that. He's my baby." She kept saying, "I can't do that," and that it was her fault that he is the way he is. She blamed herself for it. It's my fault.
She's literally begging her to call for her, isn't she?
No, I guess that she has to be because she can't do it herself. So Young went to the police, and they subpoena Westbrook, the mom, to testify before a grand jury.
Oh, wow.
Because if you get her in the box, she's not going to admit it. It's what cops will say in the interrogation room when you're going to a grand jury. If you lie to me, I might get her feelings hurt. If you lie to them, it's a crime. So that's the way it works. That's perjury. This is just, we're fucking around. So Westbrook refused to answer questions, but then a judge pulled her aside and had a chat with her, and then she was ordered to, and she did. They said, "I'm going to hold you in jail forever until you answer these questions." So,
wow.
Before she took the stand to the grand jury, investigators told her that they had videotaped the statements of Young, also a priest who had heard Westbrook's story, and they said, "We know it happened. Either you repeat it or you face a charge of perjury."
That lady had so much guilt, but she didn't want to turn in her kid.
So she started crying. She told how her son told her that he looked at Amy and momentarily thought it was her. He told his mom, that "I thought it was you. I looked at her for a minute and thought it was you." He said he pulled out a gun and shot her in the head. His mom said, "Yep, I'll never forget it as long as I live." Meanwhile, he fucking sexually assaulted her in some way. We don't know exactly how, but he sexually assaulted her in some way. Did he think he was sexually assaulting his mom?
If he did, this is like co-ed killer shit. He would have.
Yeah,
he was going to do this so much.
Oh, so who knows if he hasn't done this so much in Alabama and Florida? There's women missing in Florida everywhere. And he also said that Gorman had told her that he had taken LSD, and he thought he saw his mother's face when he shot Amy in the head. She said, he blamed her for messing up his life, and that he also said that his mom was lucky she wasn't the one he killed.
Take some responsibility, you piece of shit.
Wow. He said, quote, "Okay, Mom, I'll tell you what happened. I did it." He said, "She said something to me. I don't remember what. I just looked at her, and he saw my face, and he said he pulled out a gun and shot her in the head. He said, 'You ought to be glad it wasn't you, Mom. You ought to be glad that you're not dead. I'll never forget that as long as I live.'"
Oh, my.
Jesus Christ. He said he didn't know if he blacked out or just snapped or what, but he said he pulled the gun out and shot her in the head.
Meanwhile, also what he's leaving out is I pulled out a gun that I stole from my friend because I'm a terrible friend too.
Oh, and I drugged this chick and had sex and fucking raped her, by the way, too.
I'm terrible to strangers and friends.
I drugged, beat, and raped this chick that I met at the fucking bar, and then put her behind your house too, just to
Yeah.
So December 10th, police announce he's the suspect and they want to find him. December 11th, he's down in Alabama. They want to find him for this and a probation violation. He's down in Alabama at a gas station where he claimed a man was staring at him, Gorman. So he pulled out a pistol and pointed at him and said, "What are you looking at?"
Oh, my God.
And drove away. This guy called the cops, and the next day there's a standoff here at a house outside of Troy where everyone has to evacuate the residence, and there's a big standoff with Russ. He refuses to be arrested. There's a 4-hour standoff, nearly 6 hours. He threatens suicide. He has 2 guns, one in each hand. He wasn't cooperative and didn't make any demands either. All he asked for was a phone. He wouldn't threaten anybody, but he did threaten to kill himself. Negotiators refused to give him a phone, Things were broken off several times, by the way, the negotiations. Yeah. He held the guns out of sight so the traffic passed, because there was traffic going by and they were all looking. So they said, will you please hold the guns down so the traffic will pass and people won't stare? Eventually, police negotiators disarm him by they negotiate the release of one of his guns for a cigarette and the other one for a can of soda.
Telling you, man, sometimes the rock star lifestyle just holds on to you. You got to have that cigarette.
Got to have it, man. He said he didn't leave Maine to run away from anything. He just wanted to visit his grandparents.
That's it?
That's all. Yeah, he said that's fine. He said that his mother, none of that happened. He described his mom as a complete lunatic. So they searched for the gun for a while. January 2002, he is sentenced to 90 days in jail after he admits to technical violations of his probation involving an earlier crime. Now they can hold him without having to charge him or anything because he's
neither of those two guns he had was the murder weapon?
No.
Wow.
Neither one's a murder weapon. So grand jury, like I said, Tammy has to go up. His mom has to tell everything here. Yeah. He's indicted on a charge of murder. He pleads innocent. Okay. His defense was that he thought he was shooting his mother. That's what he said. And what his mother said wasn't true because his lawyer called his mother a deeply troubled and unreliable woman subject to memory loss and delusion.
Okay.
While he's awaiting trial in jail, he has to plead guilty to trafficking in prison contraband for hiding razor blades in his cell.
Wow.
That's because we'll find out he's been stabbed 7 times in jail. 7.
How
7.
How much of a piece of shit is he?
That's what I'm saying. Even rapists of adult people don't get stabbed. He's an asshole. He's an ass. People don't like him.
Jerk.
This has nothing to do with what he did. He's a dick. Maybe 1 or 2 stabbings, but the rest of them are, we already stabbed him twice.
Right.
He says he never made the call. He said, I love my mother a lot. We've had difficulties when I was growing up, but doesn't every family? It wasn't like she was chasing me around the house with a butcher knife. I was a bastard growing up, completely resentful. I didn't go to school. I caused my mom a lot of problems. I guess when I got older, she got tired of it, me staying home from school, drinking and smoking weed and breaking things around the house. I'd scream at her and tell her, I'm not going anywhere. What are you going to do about it? I have matured a lot since I've been here. I'm not a kid anymore. This is serious.
I've been stabbed 7 times.
I've been stabbed 7 fucking times. They asked him about the inconsistency in his stories, and he said, so many nights, so many beers, they all run into each other. We were going out every night. I was doing acid. Who the fuck knows? I have no idea. So, wow. His trial comes up, and now his hair's grown out.
Yeah.
But he used to be 170 pounds. He's 236 now.
He is packing it on.
55 pounds. He said that's or 65 pounds. He said that's from eating candy bars and being depressed. Holy shit. He said that it troubles him that people think he's a murderer. He said, I do care what people think. People think I'm a monster. People think I'm an animal. He does some weird shit in court. He winked at the family of the victim.
How dare you?
You piece of shit. On one trip here, spectators watched him wink at the sister here. And that's wild. And then later on, he mouthed the words, I'm sorry. And he said he did do that. He said, I did. He said, I wasn't trying to be a dick. I was trying to say I was sorry. He said, if I was in their places and thought someone killed my daughter, I would hate that person and want to see that person put away for a long time. Yeah, okay. You think? So, yeah, it's the prosecutors say, use your common sense, jury. They found the fucking body at his house here. Right. His mom on the stand says, I don't remember that phone call now. It's all gone from my memory. I don't know anything about it. So they have a big side trial almost to say whether they can just play her grand jury testimony for the...
Oh, yeah, because that's all taped.
And they end up saying, yes, they can. So they end up doing it because she refuses to testify. She will not testify. She says, I've always wanted to tell the truth. I just never wanted to talk. That's hilarious.
Oh, you pain in the ass.
Then in court, she pops a pill. And it turns out to be a Seroquel, an antipsychotic drug, but they thought maybe she was going to killing herself in court or something, so they had to make sure. She's been paranoid lately. She thought she came home to believe her telephone's been tapped. She's been making phone calls from a payphone, and then she believed the payphone was tapped too. She said, a lot of people call me paranoid.
Okay. Well, I mean, you raised a terrible young man, so this is your penance. Good for
very
you.
bad person.
I hope you're paranoid for the rest of your life for no good reason.
No shit, right? Jury, 6 men, 6 women deliberate for 5 hours, and they come in guilty of murder.
Shit, yeah.
Sentencing, the great uncle here, her great uncle said, "I believe in an eye for an eye. It's just too bad they don't have the death sentence." Her father, her stepfather here said, "Oh no, this is her stepfather," said, quote, "You burn in hell, Gorman," from the stand. It's like, wow, that's hardcore. That's not too shabby here. The sister said she doesn't get a second chance. I don't think you should get one either. Mama Westbrook, though, his mom said, "He's a caring person. He's not evil. He's not a monster. He thought he was killing his mother." It's a very simple explanation.
You guys, he thought it was me, not her.
Then she said he's being, quote, picked on in jail, and he's been stabbed 7 times. The other boys are picking on him in there.
There's a vast difference between being picked on and being stabbed.
Even he knew this was too far. Gorman got up and said, "Just sit down, Mom. Stop. Enough. He said, "Enough. This is getting embarrassing. You're making it worse." So the prosecutors are seeking the maximum, which is life, and there's no parole in at all in Maine. Your sentence is your sentence. Wow. So life is life. So life is life. The state argued that did this to cover a sexual assault or premeditation, and that this is, whatever. His lawyer said he's capable of change. And recommended 38 years in prison for him. What about that? The judge said, "I expect that no one in the courtroom will be pleased with what I do. I do not consider this to be a life sentence case." He said that he doesn't think that it was a premeditated thing. He think it happened quickly, which I don't know if I believe there. He then recounted Gorman's troubles past, starting with the, all of this shit, starting drug use, fathering children he doesn't provide for. He also says that Gorman cannot hide behind the excuse of a bad life and had not chosen to make those gains, and he could have helped improve his life if he tried. He said, "You've shown absolutely no remorse. To this moment, you remain defiant. You, sir, may fuck off 60 years. Hard
Pretty
60.
Solid. Yeah. He has to do 60 years.
With good time, he's going to do like 51 or 52.
Okay.
With good time. So the family's pretty happy about it. I mean, the mom's got to be like, I'll be dead by the time he gets out. They said they're going to appeal based on the fact that mom's testimony shouldn't have been allowed in from the grand jury. She should have been allowed to lie.
He's been stabbed 7 times before the trial was done. He's not getting out.
He said, "The way they found me guilty violates every right, every rule. There's no case law on this." He said, "Whatever the courts are claiming my mom said, I have no idea. I'm not acknowledging the grand jury testimony because it was an illegal process that they did, and frankly, I couldn't ID the voice on the tape." He said, "Might not even have been my mother," even though a grand jury, bunch of people, stenographer typed it out, everyone was there. He's saying maybe it wasn't that.
Okay.
The appeal, they tell him to get fucked, take a hike here. He is at the Cumberland County Superior, the Maine State Prison facility there in Maine. So he writes a letter that starts out, to those who care. This is 4/17/21 is the date, so 2021. He talks about how he's completely screwed stuff up. He won't admit it, though. He's saying, because of the appeal, I can't really talk about much more of this, but I'll just say I was a bad person and I want to right my wrongs. I want to be a good person. I'm so very sorry. He said, "Never have I believed or thought I would have a second chance. I'm not sure I deserve to have one. Even so, I will try everything to have another chance. I want to be a father, a son, a brother, my fiancé, soon-to-be wife. I want to be a husband. I want to be a member of the community. I want to earn a college degree. I'm so sorry. I was just 21 years old, and I don't know who I was back then. I was not a good person. I was an evil, horrible person. I'm not that anymore. I will continue to work on myself." Man. Yeah, that's what I mean. Parole is he says, "Parole is just a wonderful thing. To have some hope, to dream of one day being with my family. They have suffered. My sentence was 60 years. I'll be 73 when I'm released. My fiance's 52 now. I don't think she would be here. My daughter will be 53. I don't think I would make it to that age. If I had that, I would have nobody there. I can be a good man and help people. I'm no longer that 21-year-old scum," he says. And he ends it with Jeffrey Russ Gorman, 46863, a man seeking forgiveness and a second chance. Thank you. Fuck off, Russ. For the last 20 years.
All these nice things. Okay, so do a lot of people.
Sure. For the last 20 years, her mom, Amy's mom, and her family have been running an organization called RAD, R-A-D, Rape Aggression Defense, teaching thousands of women, teens, and children how to keep themselves safe. There was a book written by the cops who did this story, who investigated this, called Finding Amy, the True Story of Murder in Maine. So there's that. That, everybody, is Scarborough, Maine. And a hell of a fucking crazy tale. Poor Amy. She didn't deserve that. That was fucked
I'm heartbroken.
up. And Russ sucks, and fuck his mom, too.
And she shouldn't. Women shouldn't have to go through a rape aggression defense fucking class.
No.
That's so fucked up. Fucked up.
Yeah, you know
guys,
what? Hey,
don't
hot take, everyone.
Women. Yeah.
Stop raping. Hot take. Stop raping, everybody.
Sincerely, stop it.
Yes. Please, we beg you. We're serious about this. If you like this show, tell the world about it. Get on whatever app you're listening on. Give us 5 stars. It does help a lot. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com. Head over there right now. Tickets to live shows September 8th, Atlanta, September 9th, Charlotte, Dallas, December 2nd. Virtual live show October the 26th. Available for a week after that. Tickets go on sale September 1st. Your Stupid Opinions, a new podcast coming out the September the 18th, Monday morning. We can't wait for that. Patreon.com/Crime and Sports. $5 a month or more. It's a cup of coffee, for Christ's sake. You can get everything, whole back catalog, 200 episodes plus, and every other week, new episodes. This week, no different. For Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about the history of celebrity boxing. Why does a sitcom star and a washed-up pop singer, one-hit wonder, want to beat the shit out of each other in public? Because they need the money, and we want to watch it. Let's talk all about that. For Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about why was it dangerous to live in your house in the late 1800s. Victorian household dangers, everything had strychnine. Your fucking bathroom was explosive. It was wild. We'll talk all about it. Patreon.com/Crime and Sports. Do that. You'll get a shout out at the end of the show as well. You want to follow us on social media? Real easy to do that. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com. Links to everything. Do that. Find us. Keep coming back. Keep hanging out with us.
Can't wait.
Whew. Until next week, everybody. It's been our pleasure.
Don't rape.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.